Hi everyone. In the last video, I spoke about why services stop compounding after a point. Today, I want to continue that thought not by talking about the outcomes, but by sharing what actually changes when you try to build assets while still running a services business. Also, this is not an advice, it's just what I'm learning so far. First, something very important to clarify, I'm not shutting down services business. They are still a core part of the business. They are stable. They pay the bills. Building assets or products is something I'm doing alongside services and not as a replacement. So, yes, that distinction matters because it completely changes how this journey feels. Okay, now let's talk about how things are going on, while moving from services to building products or building assets. The first big shift I noticed is around feedbacks. In services, feedback is fast. You deliver something, client reacts, and you iterate and you move on. But with assets, feedback is slow, sometimes invisible. You don't always know if you're building the right thing yet, or even if anyone will care, because you're building in your own sphere, or you know, kind of you build something what you think is right, right? And the second change is, I think it's very important how time feels, right? Services rewards efforts very quickly. I mean, I'll say quickly, right? More efforts usually lead to more income, but with assets, you can spend weeks building something without any immediate return, right? And that changes your patience threshold and honestly your mindset as well. So I think that mindset gets developed over time, but yeah, building assets requires a long term planning. So it's better to be, jump into building assets with that mindset only. Another big difference is decision ownership. In services, many decisions are shaped by the client. With assets, every decision is yours. What to build, what to ignore, what to delay, and there is no built-in validation loop. And honestly, that can feel uncomfortable at first. But yeah, I think as you get into it, get your hands, you know, gets your hands dirty, what you're doing, you know, diving deep into it, and you will start feeling about it. You need this. One thing I underestimated was context switching. Now, what is context switching? Services need a delivery mindset, and assets needs long-term thinking, right? And switching between the two isn't automatic. Some days services pull harder, right? You get dragged into multiple projects, right? And then some days the asset work needs space. You need to focus more on this. You need to, create your vision for your product, what you're going to build, how you're going to uh, manage your team, how you're going to, tell your vision to your team as well, and how all of this is actually going to be converted into a product. So yeah, building products needs space as well, and learning to manage that tension, honestly, it's a part of process. I mean, you can be in a stage where, you know you're being pressurized from the services sector. You are doing one, two, three projects, and you know you are stuck among multiple things. But yeah, you have to focus on your product as well. So I think that requires some extra focus, some me time or me space, where you can think alone, how you are going to visualize, or shaping your vision. So for that you require time. At the same time, there are things that feel genuinely promising. The biggest one is thinking in terms of systems instead of tasks. Something you build once can potentially be reused many times. Another thing is learning depth, because when you're responsible end to end from idea to execution, you start seeing users and trade-offs much more clearly, right? you know you need to dive deep into the things, find out the solutions, and see what can work, what cannot work, uh, where you need to compromise on things. It could be anything in terms of, whether it's delivery or budget or anything, right? Even small realizations start compounding internally. So creating a feature which, as a techie, as an IT person, it may seem obvious to you, but that small functionality may resolve a pain for the customer, right? And such small things, small improvements, actually starts compounding. Yeah, but I'm still early in this process. I'm not sharing results, I'm sharing perspective here. Services remain the foundation, and again, assets are the long term layer. I'll keep sharing what I'm learning as this unfolds, the challenges, the uncertainty, and what feels worth pursuing. So, yes, stay tuned with me. Do like and keep subscribe my channel. See you guys in the next video next week. Thank you. Thank you so much.